Hello, it is December 23rd, and that makes it day 81. Um, Today I, just like practically with my eating, had a bit of a hard time. It's like I was really intentional about eating pastries and doing that exposure therapy test. And then this week, without kind of this initiative or guide to work on, I found myself like having a bit of a harder time. And I had like snacked more at night and eat more than I felt comfortable with. And then in the morning, there were like cookies around and everything, and wasn't hiccup by any means, but I had a hard time just like at my break. I had brought food, so I wasn't gonna have a pastry, even though that's like kind of against my rules, or like my intention to eat a pastry whenever I'm on shift at work. But instead, I did end up eating like 3 or 4 cookies from the holiday pack, like that someone had dropped off. And it's like I had to take a second, and it's like I wasn't eating intentionally or mindfully. I was like distracted on my phone, and I wasn't like, I was trying to enjoy the cookies, and they were really good. And drink water, go on a walk afterwards. These things that like had really helped me with my like exposure therapy the week before. I didn't make the time and set the intention to do, and then I felt harder to manage, and it was just like not forgetting to use the toolkit that I have and the things that I've worked on. And so just remembering that like it isn't magic, like there are things that are helpful and they should keep practicing them. Other than that, I was just thinking about this year being so crazy with COVID and how it would be really nice to just write down and spend some time writing and reflecting on how, where I was at December 23rd last year, in comparison to this year, and what I've learned in my recovery and what I've learned as a whole person, and my recovery being part of that, and the changes that I've made, and taking some time to intentionally look at like, what does that mean, and how am I different, and where do I want to go and want to be in, instead of necessarily looking at life as so cyclical or so linear, like progress step to step to step, but looking at it more cyclically of like all these things that are encompassing, and all the ways that life has changed and things are moving. And because again, it was like the intention this year was like to see my recovery in like an ebb and flow, and that are there more good days than bad days. It's not necessarily about never having a bad day or being perfect at it, and really working on that like concept of perfection and allowing myself some freedom from it, so that I have room to explore more of who I am. And I do feel like I'm starting to explore more of who I am, and I'm getting deeper into that, and being able to show people that, and like the dissonance between who I show people and who I really am is getting thinner, and like kind of coming into focus. And it is really what I hoped. And keeping that intention that January is not about creating these crazy goals or crazy unrealistic recovery goals, but like nurturing myself in it. And the point of recovery is to be more authentically myself, and having access more to my feelings and who I am, and that concept of feeling my feelings and feeling my feelings fully is kind of the next phase. And by doing that, I experience myself more fully, and that is ultimately where I'm going with this, and the relief that I want to have. And I mean, like if I don't know what my life will look like when I'm 40, 50, or 60, and how my recovery will play into it. But I know that just like running, recovery is something in my life that teaches me something every day. And even though it's hard, I am really thankful that my recovery teaches me about myself and about other people daily.